What if you could earn more working part-time from home than you do working full-time for someone else? Burnout is real. You're working harder than ever, but never seem to get ahead. Missing family moments because someone else controls your schedule. Feeling guilty for being tired when you finally do get home. While you are trading your life for a paycheck like I was.
And I hate it, to be honest with you.
There's a massive industry where small business owners are desperately paying people just like you $2,000, $5,000 monthly for a work that can be done completely remotely. In this video, I'm going to expose this $800 billion industry that most people don't even know exists. Also, prove this is a legitimate business opportunity and reveal the next 24 months represents the biggest opportunity window for people who want their life back. I'm going to expose something that's going to piss off a lot of people in the trucking industry, but hey, I really want to share this with you. There is a hidden $800 billion industry where regular people are making $5,000, $8,000, even $10,000 working from home, and most Americans have never even heard of it. Hi, my name is Kamal, and I've been in the trucking industry since 2008, starting as an immigrant and $5 in my pocket, owning 4 flatbeds myself, and building that experience into dispatching business, serving over 25 carriers while teaching thousands of people online to become a successful independent freight dispatchers. I once lost $50,000 in a single month running my trucking business. I've been rejected by many freight brokers like hundreds of times per day. I've made every humiliating mistake you can make in this business. But I also discovered something that changed everything, and this is what I'm going to share with you. But before I do that, let me be clear. This isn't another dropshipping fantasy. This isn't crypto. And no, this isn't some MLM pyramid scheme either. This is a legitimate service business that's been around for decades. And I'm going to prove every single thing I tell you today with real numbers, with real people. But here's what's crazy, and here's why I'm making this video. This opportunity window is closing so fast. 5 years ago, nobody knew about this business opportunity. Today, smart people are quietly building their businesses from home. In 2 years, in my humble opinion, it'll be saturated. The people who win are the ones who moves now. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly why this massive opportunity exists and the real math behind these $5,000 plus monthly results. But listen, this isn't entertainment. If you're someone who just browses videos for quick tips, this isn't for you. This isn't passive income. This isn't make money while you sleep, be honest with you. This is a real service business that requires real skills and real work. If you're looking for magic buttons or overnight riches, click away now and save us both some time. But if you are tired of trading money like I was, I hate it, to be honest with you. If you want control over your income, and if you are ready to build something real from home with a laptop and a phone, and obviously with the internet connection, then everything is about to change for you. I'm going to reveal a massive market inefficiency that most people never see. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this opportunity exists and why it's so profitable. And I'm going to start by destroying the myth that keeps most people out of this business. And there's a reason for that. Everyone thinks trucking is dominated by massive companies like Amazon trucks everywhere, like FedEx, UPS, these giant corporations with thousands of drivers. Here's what they don't tell you. More than 80% of these companies in the United States have fewer than 20 trucks. We are not talking about Amazon or UPS or these big companies. We're talking about the average Joe who owns like 3 trucks and is drowning in a paperwork. Let me give you an example. Maria, who bought 2 trucks to support her family and spends about 12 hours a day trying to find decent paying loads. These are the small business owners just like you, facing the exact same problem you probably face in your daily job, like not enough time, too much stress, and feeling like they are spinning their wheels while everyone else seems to be winning. But here's what I discovered that changed everything. See, there are more than 350,000 small trucking companies in the United States that have problems so painful so time consuming and so expensive that they gladly will pay you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 per month to solve it. What's that problem, you ask? Well, let me show you by taking you inside the real trucker's morning so it'll make sense what we were talking about here. So imagine this, 5:30 in the morning, meet Jake. So he's sitting in his truck at a truck stop in Tennessee. His coffee's getting cold. His wife just texted asking when he will be back home. His 8-year-old daughter has a soccer game this weekend that he's probably going to miss. Jake's been scrolling through load boards for 4 hours. Think of these like Amazon, but instead of products, truck drivers browse for available shipment, what we call loads. Imagine 4 hours of his life that he will never get back trying to find freight that pays enough money to keep his family fed. He finally finds a load from Atlanta, Georgia to Denver, 1,200 miles for $2,100. That's $1.75 per mile. That's the rate per mile, which is how these truckers get paid each mile they drive. After fuel, insurance, maintenance, and taxes, Jake will clear about $600. For 1,200 miles driving for 3 days away from his family. Imagine this. But here's what Jake doesn't know, and this is where your opportunity begins. Pay attention to what I'm going to share with you because it gets very interesting. Well, see, while Jake is accepting that $2,100 load, there's identical load. Same pickup location, same destination, same timeline, pays $2,800. That's $700 more than the exact same work. And there's a perfect backhaul load from Denver to Memphis for $2,200 that matches his route home perfectly. Jake will deadhead 400 miles empty. That means driving without any freight, making no money because he doesn't know this load exists. In one trip, Jake just left $1,300 on the table, just like that. Not because the money wasn't there, but because he's trying to be a driver and a businessman, he can't do both effectively. This happens to Jake every single week, and it happens to more than 350,000 other small trucking companies in the United States every single day. These companies leaving billions of dollars on the table because they don't have the time, knowledge, or tools to find these best paying loads. And that's where you come in. And that is, my friend, your opportunity. That's where the $72,000 per year gap I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Let's talk about this gap because it's very important to understand. I mean, it's crucial. Here's what I call the hidden market gap system. They are 3 layers that create this opportunity. So layer number 1, the supply crisis. 350,000 plus small trucking companies in the United States. We call these trucking companies that own between 1 and 5 trucks. And these people cannot afford $60,000 per year full-time dispatcher, but desperately need professional freight management. In other words, they're looking for a dispatcher who can help them find loads. Another way of putting it, finding jobs for these trucks simply means finding freight or loads, as most people call it. And if any of these sounds confusing right now, don't worry. Just stick with me. I'll break it down step by step so it's crystal clear. By the end, it will make perfect sense. Just trust the process. I thought thousands of dispatchers, so believe me when I say I know exactly what I'm talking about here. So let's move on to the layer number 2, which is the skill mismatch. Let me explain. Truck drivers are really good at moving freight safely, but most are terrible at negotiation, market analysis, and relationship with brokers. Meanwhile, people just like you already have these skills from customer service or management or administrative work or from your daily work. So layer number 3, the profit mathematics. Professional dispatchers can increase carriers' revenue by 20-30%, which is very important. And because of that, these carriers gladly pay 8%, 10% of the gross revenue. For example, if a carrier makes about $20,000 per month, a skilled dispatcher might help him get up to $25,000 per month. At an 8% rate, the dispatcher earns about $2,000, while a carrier still keeps $23,000, which which is $3,000 more than before, which is why they're happy to pay. The problem is many dispatchers and newbies miss this point completely. That's why they keep asking, why would carrier pay me if they can find loads themselves? Well, the answer is simple, because you're not just finding loads, you're helping them to make more money than they could on their own. The result? Everyone wins. Here's another example. Marcus was averaging about $18,000 per month in revenue before working with the freight dispatcher. He was spending about 4 hours every day finding these loads on these load boards and constantly stressed about money. After partnering with a freight dispatcher, Marcus averages about $24,000. That's $6,000 more per month, or $72,000 per year, with less stress and more time with his family. And the beauty is Marcus pays his dispatcher 9% of the revenue, which equals to $2,160 per month. He's happy, obviously, and maybe you're asking why? Because he nets $4,840 more than before. And obviously his dispatcher is happy because he's making about $25,920 annually from one client working part-time from home. Now you understand why this opportunity exists, but here's where the most people get completely lost. They don't understand how the money actually works in dispatching, which leads to fatal mistakes that kill their earning potential before they even start. Let me show you real income math that separates successful dispatchers from those who quit within 90 days. Everyone wants to know how much money I can actually make by dispatching other people's trucks. And the industry lies to you in two devastating ways. The gurus here on YouTube show you screenshots of dispatchers making $15,000 per month and pretend that's normal. On the other hand, skeptics might tell you that, hey, the market is too saturated to make real money with dispatching. Let me tell you this, both are lying, and believing either one will destroy your chances to be successful in this business. The reality? There is a predictable income progression that works every single time. And it seems like these so-called freight gurus, many of whom have never dispatched a single load in their lives, conveniently leave this part out. You need to understand the real math and avoid these three fatal mistakes that kill income potential before most people even start earning with dispatching. So let me tell you about Christina's story, because her mistakes are the same ones 80% of these new dispatchers make. About 8 months ago, Christina sent me a desperate message, 8 months of trying dispatching. The total earnings of $1,200, working 60 hours a week, ready to quit. And on that message, she said, this dispatching thing is a scam. I can barely find carriers who will work with me, and the ones that I do find, they wanted to pay only 3% or 4%. I'm killing myself for nothing. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And I dug into Christina's progress, and guess what? I found 3 mistakes. Let's talk about those. Mistake number 1, competing on a price instead of value. Very important. She was telling carriers, hey, I only dispatch for 5%, which is less than other dispatchers. But here's the thing, carriers don't want cheap dispatchers. They want dispatchers who make them more money. So mistake number 2, working with too many small carriers. And I do see a lot of dispatchers make this mistake. 8 carriers averaging about $150 per month each. Managing 8 relationships is a chaos, and $1,200 total isn't worth the stress. So mistake number 3, 0 systems. Man, this is big one. Every carrier got a different service levels from a dispatcher. She was constantly putting out fires instead of running a business. 3 months after I showed Christina the real math, the result, $4,800 per month with only 2 trucks. Same time investment, 4x the income.
How?
She fired the low revenue carriers, focused on the quality service for fewer clients, and charged premium rates for better and professional results. Speaking of the better results, professional results, let's talk about the 3 important phases of making the money within dispatching, while actually stressing less. This is what I call the real mathematics, a proven three-phase progression that actually works every single time. So let's cover those phases real quick. Phase number 1, foundation building. This is months 1 to 3. Your goal here is to make $1,000 to $2,500 per month working with 1 to 2 quality carriers, meaning these trucking companies you work with exclusively. You'll start at 7% commission because your first mission is obviously to prove massive value to these carriers, and that means you earn 7% of whatever the revenue you help them generate each month. Your focus in these first 3 months, master your systems, build confidence, which is very important, and collect these testimonials that will sell your services for you the years to come. So that leads to the phase number 2, which is strategic growth, months 4 to 8. Now you're aiming for $2,500 to $4,500 per month with 3 to 4 established partnerships. At this point, your carriers see the return you bring, so you can raise your rate to 8 to 9%. Your focus shifts to optimizing your operations and strategically adding new carriers without overloading yourself. So phase number 3, professional scale, months 9 to 12 and beyond. Here's where you target $4,500 to $7,000 plus per month with 4 to 5 premium carriers. Premium carriers is the keyword here. The reason why I say that because you earned your place in the top tier, so now you can charge 9 to 10% because premium positioning commands premium rates. Your main focus becomes systems mastery in selective growth, choosing only the best clients to work with. Let me walk you through the exact numbers for $6,810 per month dispatching business using conservative revenue estimates, obviously. So imagine carrier A earns $22,000 per month at 10% commission, that's $2,200 for you. Carrier B brings about $19,000 per month at 9%, that's $1,710. Carrier C does $18,000 per month at 9%, you make about $1,620. Carrier D pulls about $16,000 per month at 8%, that's $1,280. Add that up and your total monthly revenue is $6,810. And here is the thing, these are the minimum numbers. Different trucks and lanes generate different revenue, and in many cases, carriers make far more than what I have shown you here. This is just a safe low-end math. Now, complete transparency here. This doesn't happen overnight. Well, in fact, month 1, you might be making about $800 per month. Month 3, probably $1,800 per month. Month 6, potentially $3,500 per month. But here's what makes this beautiful. Once you prove your value to a carrier, means trucking companies, they stick. I had carriers I have worked with 3+ years. It was recurring revenue that compounded over time. Now, let's talk about something that really matters. The factors that separate beginners from these seasoned high-earning freight dispatchers. I call them 3 multipliers, and they're the reason why some dispatchers just stuck at $3,000 per month, while others making $10,000, $15,000 per month and beyond. So multiplier number 1, which is very, very important, the market specialization. Stop being general dispatcher. Instead, niche down. Specialize in flatbed. These are the open trailers for construction materials and heavy-duty machinery, or refrigerated trucks. These are pulling temperature-controlled freight. Specialists often command 20 to 30% higher rates because carriers value deep expertise over general knowledge. For instance, think about like this. Compare a general physician to a brain surgeon. Both are doctors, but one gets paid far more because of the specialized skills. You get the point. So multiplier number 2, performance guarantees. Most dispatchers don't do that, but hey, I highly recommend doing it. Means stand out by guaranteeing results like a minimum rate per mile or your money back guarantee. This positions you to confidently charge 8%, 10% instead of fighting for 3 to 4%, which is the majority of dispatchers do. Multiplier number 3, most people ask about this, but then I do see that not many people are doing it. Value added services. Let's talk about them. Go beyond just booking loads. Offer fuel optimization, finding like cheapest fuel stops, for example. Compliance compliance consulting, keeping these carriers in line with the regulation, and business coaching or business consulting. Obviously, the more value you bring to these carriers, the more you can charge, because premium services obviously commands premium pricing, right? This is advanced level stuff, but hey, this is a proof what's possible when you have mastered the fundamentals. Now you understand why this massive opportunity exists and the real income potential. But I need to show you what you actually do all day, because most people have completely wrong expectations about this opportunity. People think dispatching, either you just find loads on computers and tell drivers where to go. If that's your expectation, you will quit in less than a few weeks. Or it might be incredibly technical since it involves trucking. If that's your belief, you will never start. The truth is 80% customer service relationship management with some logistics coordination. Nothing technical, nothing complicated, obviously. It's just professional communication and problem solving. But here's what most people get completely lost. They have no idea what dispatchers actually do all day, every day. Most people think it's just finding loads on computers, but that misconception will kill your chances before you even start. In the next video, I'm going to destroy every myth about what this work actually looks like and show you why 80% of your success comes from skills you already have. I'll take you inside Real Dispatchers Day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., show you the exact conversation and reveal why this business is nothing like what people imagine. Click on the next video right now, because everything I just showed you is meaningless if you don't understand the daily reality of this opportunity. If this video opened your eyes to this opportunity, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which part hit you the hardest. I read every single comment, seriously. In fact, most of my best partnerships have started right here in the comments. So drop me a comment below. You might never know what it might lead. Click that next video to see what dispatchers actually do all day. You might be surprised.